Ever scrolled past those before and after photos online and thought, okay, how is that even possible?
Ooh, yeah.
Well, today we're tackling a procedure you might be curious about, the back lift.
Okay.
Specifically, we're taking a deep dive into what this surgery actually entails, particularly in Mumbai, using the research you've provided.
Sounds good.
So imagine this. You're considering a back lift, maybe even looking into Mumbai as an option, and you want to know everything. That's where this deep dive comes in.
Right.
Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a back lift?
Sure.
Our source describes it as removing extra skin and fat from the back, for a
Nice.
smoother look. Sounds almost too easy. Like, is that all it takes?
Well, it's IS surgery, so it's definitely not as simple as it sounds. It involves removing that excess skin and fat, yeah, and then tightening the remaining skin for a more toned appearance.
Uh-huh.
Think of it like tailoring a garment for a better fit. It can be very effective, but it's important to have realistic expectations.
Okay, so it's not magic, but actual reshaping. Makes sense. The source keeps mentioning stubborn fat, which, let's be real, who hasn't struggled with that at some point?
Yeah.
But is this really different from just, committing to that gym routine and ditching the extra desserts? Is surgery really necessary?
You're hitting on a key point. Lifestyle definitely plays a role. But sometimes, even with diet and exercise, certain areas of fat and excess skin are resistant, especially after, say, significant weight loss or as we age.
Yeah.
That's where a back lift might be considered.
Interesting. Now, our source seems pretty focused on Mumbai.
Ah.
Is there something specific about Mumbai for back lifts? Is it a popular destination for medical tourism, perhaps?
Absolutely, you're spot on. India in general, and Mumbai specifically, has become kind of a hub for medical tourism, known for offering high-quality procedures at costs significantly lower than, say, the US or Europe.
Ah, that makes sense. Our source mentions a specific clinic, HealR, that boasts about being board certified and using state-of-the-art technology. Pretty impressive claims.
It's always good to look at those credentials, but remember, every clinic wants to present itself in the best light.
Of course, of course.
It's like reading online reviews. You always take them with a grain of salt, right?
Right.
It's essential to do your independent research, look at multiple sources, and not rely on just one website or brochure.
So it's like they say knowledge is power. And in this case, it could save you a lot of hassle, or worse, down the line.
Exactly.
Speaking of knowledge, let's talk about who might be a good candidate for a back lift. Our source mentions significant weight loss or are aging, so it's not limited to one specific group, which is interesting. They also emphasize having realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Why is that so important in this context?
Surgery can be life-changing, but it's not a quick fix. Having realistic expectations about what a back lift can achieve and what it can't is crucial. It's about improving your body image and confidence, not aiming for some unattainable ideal.
So true. It's about feeling good in your own skin, with or without surgery.
Absolutely.
Now, while we're being real, let's talk cost, always a big factor.
Yeah.
Our source lists things like surgeon fees, facility fees, anesthesia. It's a lot to digest. Realistically, what kind of price range are we looking at for a back lift, say, in Mumbai?
You're right. It can feel overwhelming trying to factor in all those variables. It's impossible to give an exact number without a proper consultation, but to give you a ballpark figure, a back lift in Mumbai might cost around $4,000, $7,000 on average.
Okay.
For comparison, the same procedure in the US could cost upwards of $10,000 or more due to higher operating costs and surgeon fees. This is one of the primary reasons why medical tourism is on the rise.
Wow. That's a significant difference. It's like you could literally book yourself a nice vacation with the savings, maybe even show off your new back while you're at it. Okay, on a less glamorous note, let's talk about recovery. What can someone expect after a back lift? Our source mentions compression garments. How long do those need to be worn? And what about things like going back to work and scarring?
Picture this. You've had the procedure. Congratulations. You'll be wearing a compression garment for several weeks to help reduce swelling and support healing.
Okay.
Don't worry, they're designed to be discreet under clothing. Returning to work depends on the nature of your job, but plan for at least 2 to 3 weeks of downtime. As for scarring, surgeons aim for incisions in discrete locations, and these tend to fade over time. It's a journey, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of the journey, our source's FAQ section emphasizes the importance of post-op care. Why is that so crucial?
It's like investing in a fantastic outfit. You wouldn't just throw it in the wash and hope for the best, right?
Right.
You take care of it to make it last. Post-op care is like that it ensures you get the best and longest-lasting results from your investment. This is where a clinic like HealR, which emphasizes its support system, might be worth considering.
It's like they say, the follow-through is everything. But let's be real, with any surgery, there are always risks. What are some potential complications someone considering a back lift should be aware of?
You're absolutely right, and it's essential to go into this with your eyes wide open. Like any surgery, back lifts carry inherent risks, such as infection, bleeding, or reactions to anesthesia. Choosing a qualified and experienced surgeon significantly reduces these risks, but there's still something to discuss openly and honestly during your consultation.
So it's about making informed decisions, understanding the risks and benefits, and ultimately deciding what's right for you. Speaking of informed decisions, our source's FAQ section has some valuable insights, like answering how long these results actually last. Give us the details.
It's true, nothing lasts forever, right? Backlift results can last for many years, but they aren't entirely immune to time. Things like significant weight changes or just natural aging will play a role. It's like anything else, maintaining the results requires a bit of ongoing effort.
Right. It's a commitment to a healthier lifestyle overall, not just a one-time fix. But hey, if someone's put in the work with diet and exercise, this could be that extra boost they're looking for.
It's interesting diving into a topic like this. It makes you think about body image and the pressures we face. Do you find that people are often surprised by the psychological aspects of these kinds of procedures?
That's a really insightful observation, and it's something that's often overlooked. It's not just about changing your physical appearance. It's also about how those changes make you feel. For some, it can be incredibly empowering, a way to reclaim their bodies after significant weight loss or life changes. But it's crucial to have realistic expectations and address the emotional side as well.
That's such an important point. It's about the whole picture, the mental and emotional well-being, not just the physical transformation. Okay, I've got one more question for you before we move on. Let's say someone's thinking, hold on, I wouldn't mind a little tweaking in other areas too. Can you combine a back lift with other procedures? Asking for a friend, of course. Of course. It's a common question, and the answer is often yes. Back lifts can be combined with other body contouring procedures like liposuction, arm lifts, even tummy tucks to address multiple areas in one go. It's like creating a personalized makeover plan for your body.
So it's like a choose-your-own-adventure, but for body contouring. I kind of love that.
Yeah,
But I imagine combining procedures also means a longer, more intense recovery, right?
exactly. Combining procedures generally means a longer, more complex surgery and a longer recovery period. It's essential to have those open and honest conversations with your surgeon, and they'll help you weigh the benefits and risks and make the most informed decision for your individual needs and goals.
It all comes back to that personalized approach. Now, we've talked a lot about the procedures, the cost, the recovery, but let's shift gears for a moment and talk about Mumbai itself. What can you tell us about Mumbai as a medical tourism destination beyond just the cost savings?
Mumbai is a vibrant, bustling city with a fascinating history and culture. But beyond that, it's also home to some of the best medical facilities and professionals in the world. Many hospitals and clinics in Mumbai specialize in medical tourism, and they cater to international patients with excellent care, English-speaking staff, and often luxurious accommodations and amenities.
It sounds like they've really honed in on creating a positive experience for medical tourists, not just the medical aspect itself.
Exactly. They understand that people traveling for medical procedures are looking for a comfortable and stress-free experience, and often the overall cost, including travel, accommodation, and the procedure itself, can still be significantly lower than in their home country.
It's like getting a world-class medical procedure A&D, a potentially life-changing cultural experience all rolled into one. But, as with traveling to any new destination, it's essential to do your research and be aware of the potential downsides. What are some things someone traveling to Mumbai for a medical procedure should keep in mind?
You're right. It's always wise to be prepared. Firstly, language barriers can sometimes be a challenge, although most medical professionals in Mumbai speak English. It's a good idea to familiarize yourself with basic Hindi phrases, or consider hiring a translator if needed, especially for navigating outside the hospital.
That's a great tip. What else?
Well, Mumbai is a bustling metropolis, so traffic can be quite chaotic. It's essential to factor in extra travel time, especially when traveling to and from appointments. Additionally, cultural differences can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or different expectations.
So being respectful, adaptable, and maybe packing a little extra patience is always a good idea.
Definitely.
It's like we've been saying throughout this whole episode, knowledge is power. The more informed you are, the better equipped you are to make those decisions that are right for you. Speaking of informed decisions, our source's FAQ section also touches on the importance of choosing a qualified and experienced surgeon. It seems like a no-brainer, but what are some things people should look for when making this crucial decision?
You are absolutely right. Choosing the right surgeon is paramount. Look for board certification, years of experience, especially in the specific procedure you are considering, and don't hesitate to ask for before and after photos of their previous patients.
It's like finding that perfect tailor,
Right.
Someone who understands your vision and has the skills to make it a reality.
Exactly. It's also crucial to feel comfortable with your surgeon.
Yeah.
Do they listen to your concerns? Do they answer your questions thoroughly and honestly? Trust your gut feeling. If something feels off, it probably is.
It's all about that connection and that trust. After all, this is your body, your journey.
Absolutely. And remember, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
Right.
Ask about anything and everything that's on your mind, from the procedure itself to the recovery process, potential risks, and long-term care.
Knowledge is power. And in this case, it can lead to a more confident and empowered experience. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the ins and outs of back lifts, delved into the world of medical tourism in Mumbai, and even touched on the importance of body image and self-care.
It's been a fascinating deep dive, and I think it highlights a crucial point. Making informed decisions about our bodies and our health requires thorough research, careful consideration, and open communication with qualified professionals.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's not just about finding the right answer, but about asking the right questions.
Agree.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with this thought. If you were considering a back lift, what would be the one non-negotiable for you? What factor, whether it's the surgeon's experience, the clinic's reputation, the cost, or something else entirely, would make you feel confident and secure in taking that next step? Until next time, keep those brains curious, keep exploring, and remember, your journey to a better you starts with why you.